Be still, my heart. Be still, my heart. Space does not hear you. Be still, my heart. The ether, heavy with mourning and with lamentation, will not bear your songs. Be still, for the phantoms of night will not heed the whisper of your mysteries, and the procession of darkness will not halt before your dreams. Be still, my heart. Be still until dawn. For whoso waits the morning patiently will greet the morning with strength, and whoso loves the light, by light shall he be loved. Be still, my heart, and listen to my words. In dreams I heard a blackbird singing above the mouth of a raging volcano, and I saw a lily lifting its head above the snow. I saw a naked houri dancing among tombstones, and a babe laughing the while it played with skulls. All this I saw in a dream. When I waked and looked about me, lo, I saw the volcano pouring forth its fury, but I could not hear the blackbird singing. I saw the heavens scattering snow over the hills and valleys, garmenting with its white shroud the silent lilies. I saw the graves, row upon row, standing before the tranquillity of ages, but none amongst them dancing or praying. Then I beheld hills of skulls, but no laughter was there save the laughing wind. Waking I saw naught but grief and sorrow. Where then have the joys of dreams departed? Where hides the splendor of our sleep, and how has its image vanished? How can the soul bear patiently until the shadow of its yearning shall return with sleep? Be still, my heart, and attend to my words. It was but yesterday that my soul was a tree, old and strong, whose roots penetrated to the depths of the earth, and whose branches reached toward the infinite, blooming in spring and bearing fruit in summer. When autumn was come, I gathered the fruit on trays of silver and placed them at the crossroads. And the passer-by reached for the fruit and ate of it and walked their way. When autumn was past and its song was turned to wailing and a dirge, I looked upon my trays and saw that men had left it there but a single fruit. And when I tasted, I found it bitter as aloes and sour as a green grape. Then I said to myself, Woe unto me, for I have placed a curse upon the lips of men and hostility in their bowels. What then, my soul, have you done with the sweetness that your roots had sucked from the bosom of the earth, and with fragrance that your boughs had drunk of the light of the sun? Thereupon I uprooted the old and strong tree of my soul. I severed it from its past and dismantled it of the memories of 1,000 springs and 1,000 autumns. And I planted the tree of my soul in another place. I set it in a field far from the roads of time, and I passed the night in wakefulness beside it, giving it to drink my tears and my blood, saying, There is a Savior in blood and a sweetness in tears. When spring returned, the tree of my soul bloomed again and bore fruit in the summer season. And when the autumn was come, I gathered the ripe fruit once more, and I placed it upon trays of gold at the meeting place of the roads. And men passed by, but no one reached to take of the fruit. And I took and ate, and I found the fruit as sweet as honey, as luscious as nectar, perfumed as the breath of jasmine, and mellow as the wine of Babylon. And I cried aloud, saying, Men do not desire blessedness upon their lips, nor truth in their bowels, for blessedness is the daughter of tears, and truth is but the son of pain. Then I returned and sat down under the shade of the lonely tree of my soul, and in the field far from the roads of time. Be still, my heart. Be still until dawn. Be still, for space is heavy with the odor of dead things, and you cannot inhale your living breath. Be still, my heart, and listen to my voice. It was but yesterday that my thought was like a ship, rocked upon the waves of the sea and moving with the winds from shore to shore. And the ship of my thought was empty, save only for 7 phials filled to the brim with 7 colors, even the 7 colors of the rainbow. There came a time when I grew weary of drifting upon the face of the waters, and I said, I will return with the empty ship of my thought to the harbor of the town where I was born. And as I sailed, I began to paint the sides of my ship with the 7 colors, and it shone yellow as the sunset, azure like the sky, and red as a blood-red anemone. And upon its sails and rudder I traced sketches to allure and delight the eye. And when it was done, the ship of my thought appeared like the vision of a prophet, floating betwixt the 2 infinities, the sea and the sky. Now, when my ship reached port, behold, all the people came to meet me. With shout and joy they welcomed me, and they took me into the city, beating their tambourines and blowing upon their reed flutes. All this they did because my ship appeared enchanting to their eyes. But none boarded the ship of my thought, nor did any perceive that I had brought my ship empty into port. Then I said to myself, I have misled the people, and with 7 phials of color I have deceived their inner and outer eye. And when a year was past, again I boarded the ship of my thought and put it out to sea. I sailed to the isles of the east, and there I gathered myrrh and frankincense and sandalwood and brought them to my ship. I sailed to the isles of the south, and from thence I brought gold, jade, and emerald, and every precious stone. To the isles of the north I sailed, and found rare silks and velvets and broideries of every kind. Thence to the isles of the west, and got me coats of mail, and spears, and swords, and divers weapons. Thus I filled the ship with my thought, with the costly and strange things of the earth, and I turned back to the harbor of my own city, saying in my heart, Now shall my people praise me as a man worthy of praise. Now shall they indeed lead me into the marketplace with singing and piping. But behold, when I reached the port, no man came to meet me and welcome me. Alone I entered the streets of my city, but no man looked upon me. Even in the market squares I stood, telling of all that I had brought of the earth's fruits and goodly things. But the people looked upon me with laughter on their faces, derision in their lips, and they turned from me. Thus I was troubled and cast down, and I turned me to the harbor. No sooner did my eyes fall upon my ship than I became aware of a certain thing to which, in my voyaging and seeking for good cargoes, I had paid no heed. So I cried out in humiliation, Behold, the waves of the sea have washed the 7 colors from my ship, and now it appears but as a skeleton of bones. And the winds and the storms and the heat of the sun have effaced from the sails the image of wonder and delight, and they seem now but as a faded and tattered garment. Truly, I have gathered the earth's costly treasures in a casket floating upon the surface of the waters, and returned unto my people, but they turned from me. For their eyes see naught but outward show. And at that very moment I abandoned the ship of my thought, and sought the city of the dead, where I sat amid the whitened graves and pondered their secrets. Be still, my heart. Be still until dawn. Be still. Though the tempest mock the whispering of your depths, be still, my heart, until dawn. For whoso awaits the morning patiently, the morning shall embrace him tenderly. Behold, my heart, the dawn is come. Speak then, if you have the power yet of words. Behold, my heart, the possession of morning. Did not the silence of the night stir in your depths a song wherewith to greet the morn? Behold, the flight of doves and blackbirds above the valley. Did not the awe of night strengthen your wings to fly with them? Behold, the shepherds leading their flocks from the folds. Did not the shadows of night urge your desire to follow also into the green meadows? Behold, the young men and the maidens hastening toward the vineyard. Would you not rise and join them? Arise, my heart, arise and move with the dawn, for night is past, and the fears of the night have vanished with their black dreams. Arise, my heart, and lift your voice in song. For he who joins not the dawn with his singing is but a child of darkness.